Before we get started, in the chat, I have put in a link to our presentation. So you are more than welcome to pull that presentation up and follow along. We've had issues with my presentation getting a little fuzzy, blurry at points. So you're more than welcome to pull up the presentation on your own and follow along as we go. The second link that I'm going to insert into the chat now too, this is a checklist of all of the guides that you will probably need when we go live. It'll help you with navigating through the system. It also has some videos attached on it as well. So this will be a very useful tool for you during go live. We'll go ahead and get started. So welcome to the Employee Training for Workforce Management, also known as WFM. My name is Leanne, and I'm a payroll specialist in human services. WFM is replacing our current time card system, known as UTM, and our go live date for the new system is June 13th. I do ask that you hold your questions till the end of the training. We will have a Q&A at the end. So if you have questions, if you can just put them into the Q&A box, and then we will look at those at the end of the training. So how do we navigate to workforce management? Well, from your web browser, you're going to select the Okta icon, and then you'll scroll down to UKG Pro. When you click on UKG Pro, you come to the homepage of our UKG Pro system. All of this side of the system is staying the same. You will still use this system to see your pay statements, direct deposit, W-4, and W-2 information. From the home screen of UKG Pro, we're going to navigate up to the main menu, select Myself, and then navigate down to Workforce Management. When you select Workforce Management, a new screen appears, and you are on the home page of Workforce Management. Now we're going to go over all of the features of the homepage on Workforce Management. The three lines here on the top left, also known as the hamburger, this is the main menu. This is one way you can navigate within Workforce Management. The home icon, when you have navigated away from the home screen and you need a return, you click on the home icon. On the right-hand side, we have the feedback button. This is how you can provide feedback to UKG regarding their product. The help icon, you will use this icon if you need help while working in Workforce Management. And the bell icon, also known as the notification center. You can see if you have a task to complete. If you have a task to complete, there will be a number in red hovering over the icon. We also have tiles. The first tile is the My Time Card tile. This is one way in which you can open your time card. Then we have the My Notifications tile. This is how you can see what type of task you need to complete. So remember how I said, if you have a notification on the bell icon with the number hovering over it, this tile will show you exactly where you need to go to complete the required task. If there's a number in the gray circle, as we see here, then that is the type of task you need to complete. Then we have the My Schedule tile. This is how you'll submit time off request if you are a time off request employee. Did it again. Now we're going to access our time card. To access your time card from your My Time Card tile, you're going to click this blue arrow. When you click the blue arrow, your time card appears. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that we only see 1 week at a time. This is a change management piece that will take some time to get used to, but over time, I think you'll get used to it. If you are an exempt employee, your time card will still auto-populate your hours worked. We're going to start by going over all the features of the time card. Here we have previous, today, and next. This is how you navigate between the pay weeks in a pay period. Add new. This is how you add additional pay codes. any pay code other than hours worked. We have list view. What list view does is it displays each day in a stacked view for the selected time frame. Each day lists hours worked, pay codes, daily totals, and total time to date. The view we're currently sitting in is table view, and I personally prefer table view over list view. Then we have the approve icon. This is how you approve your time card. And we have remove approval if you need to remove your approval. Sometimes we'll submit our time card and forget that we needed to add a comment or change time from worked hours to sick leave. If this is the case, then you would remove your approval, make your necessary changes, and then reapprove your time card. Here on the right, we have the calendar. This is how you select different time frames to view. When you first get in your time card, you will always be in the current pay period. So if you need to change what pay period to view, you would click the calendar drop-down menu, and then you would see all of your options. The share icon is how you print your time card if you need to. And the save button. This is how you save time entered or changes that you've made to your time card. There are 3 tabs on the bottom of the time card. The totals tab, it displays the total hours on your time card by pay code and or GLJL keys. Accruals, this displays your accrual balances. This is where you will now see your accruals. They are on your time card now. And then we have the historical corrections tab. If you needed an adjustment from a pay period that had already been signed off on, we needed to make some corrections on it, this is where that would sit. We also have each day sitting independently on the time card. Oops, accidentally clicked it, sorry. Then we have our week column and our time frame column. The week column is how you see what your time card is doing within each week. And the time frame column is how you see the entire pay period. So this will capture your entire pay period regardless of which week you are sitting in. You will also see that we have this home line. This home line auto-populates, and this is where the hours worked go. So this home line is now pay code 002 hours worked. You will no longer have to manually add that pay code into your time card. This pay code also goes from one week to the next. So anytime you add any type of pay code, whether it's sick, vacation, as shift work, after hours, anything like that, once you add a pay code onto a time card, it carries over from week to week within that pay period.
Let's go over how you enter time into your time card. First, you want to select the correct pay period. From the calendar dropdown, select current pay period. On the home line, which is now pay code 002 hours worked, select the cell of the day you need to enter worked hours. Enter the number of hours worked, then on the top right, select save. You will do this for each day of the week. To navigate to the second week of the pay period, you select the next icon. Then, enter your hours as you did in the first week of the pay period. Now we're going to learn how to enter additional pay codes to the time card. From the time card, ensure you are on the correct pay period. On the Actions toolbar, we're going to click on the Add New icon. Our project box slider appears. From the pay code drop-down box, either scroll using the scroll bar or enter the pay code name. Select the pay code, then click on Apply. The pay code you selected is now on your time card. Enter the hours for this pay code on the desired date. Once done, click Save. You will repeat these steps for each additional pay code needed within a pay period.
For entering FMLA on our time card, employees, managers, and payroll reps can enter FMLA on the time card. Employees will only gain access to the FMLA pay code once you've been approved for FMLA. That pay code will appear in the pay code drop-down menu. And when the FMLA pay code is used, accruals will automatically populate on the time card in the following order. It'll start with sick leave, then admin leave, holiday, comp taken, then vacation. Once the accruals are exhausted, the sick leave without pay code will automatically populate to the time card. We do have a step-by-step guide and a video for how to enter FMLA on your time card. They are on the HR payroll website, as well as on that checklist that I put in the Zoom chat today. Utilize those resources if you're going to need to enter FMLA to your time card. For any questions that you have regarding FMLA, contact the leave specialist at hr_FMLA@co.larimer.co.us. For holiday deferrals, there are 4 reasons why you would need to defer your holiday. The first one is because you actually worked on the holiday. The second one is because you happen to work extra hours in the work week other than on the holiday. The third situation is a combination of 1 and 2. You worked some hours on the holiday and you worked extra hours on other days other than the holiday. And the fourth one is for any exempt employee that would need to defer their holiday. For our first pay period in WFM, which is June 13th through June 26th, that pay period does contain a holiday.
Now let's show you how to defer the holiday. To defer hours worked on the holiday from our time card on the home line, we're going to enter the number of hours worked on the holiday. Then click Save. From the Totals tab on the time card, you will now see that we have holiday credit on our time card. What this means is that the holiday hours will automatically be credited to the holiday bank. Now we're going to go over how to defer extra worked hours not worked on the holiday. From our time card, we're going to select the Add New icon. Our project box slider appears. Next to our transfers box, we're going to click on the blue arrow. Then we're going to select Add a Work Rule and Holiday Deferred. Now we'll click on Apply 2 times. Now you see Holiday Deferred has appeared on our time card. On the holiday, we're going to enter the number of hours that we need to defer for the holiday. Then we're going to click on Save. From the Totals tab, you will now see Holiday Deferred on our time card. What this means is that our holiday hours will automatically be deferred to the holiday bank. Now the last example, which is deferring some hours actually worked on the holiday plus some extra hours worked on days other than the holiday. This is a combination of the first 2 examples. To start, we're going to enter the number of hours we worked on the holiday. Then we're going to hit Save. As you can see from the Totals tab, we have our holiday credit. Now to defer the rest of our time, we're going to select the Add New icon on the top of our time card. Our project transfer box appears, and we're going to click on the blue arrow. Now we're going to select Add Work Rule, Holiday Deferred. We're going to click Apply 2 times. Our Holiday Deferred line appears on our time card. So on the holiday, we are going to enter the number of hours we need to defer and click Save. Now you will see that we are deferring some time and crediting some time. So what this means is that the holiday hours will automatically be credited and deferred to the holiday bank. Now keep in mind, when you are deferring your holiday, you have to enter those hours on the actual holiday for them to defer.
Comp banks. To be in a comp status, you do have to have a completed and approved comp time agreement form. Upon approval, your payroll rep will update your profile to reflect comp time. If you are already approved for comp time, you do not need to complete a new form for the new system. You will roll over as a comp employee. When your comp bank is at the max balance or reaches the max balance during a pay period, hours will automatically be paid out at a rate of 1.5. The county standard comp bank max is 60 hours. We do have 2 offices that have a different comp bank balance for their business needs. We're going to go over the 2 scenarios. One where our comp bank balance is under that max 60. So for this example, our balance is sitting at 50 hours. On our time card, you can see the employee worked 44 hours for that week. So 6 hours will go to the comp bank. That's 4 hours times 1.5 equals 6 hours. On the accruals tab of your time card, in the comp bank, you see we have those 6 hours that went to our comp bank. The second situation is our comp bank is over max. So our comp bank hit its balance of 60 and our employee worked 44 hours again. So for this example, 6 hours is going to get paid out on comp overflow. The 4 hours times 1.5 equals 6 hours. So now on your time card, you will see comp over max and the 6 hours. On the totals tab of the time card, you will see that you earned your comp at the 4 hours because it was 4 hours of comp time. But the comp over max is paying you the 6 hours. And you can see that you're being paid for the 6 hours.
Now let's see how we review and approve our time card. On the time card, look at the week column for each week of the pay period and make sure your hours are accurate. At the bottom of the time card, select the Totals tab. From the first drop-down menu, select the time frame in which you would like to view. All or daily are the preferred method. We're going to select all. From the second drop-down menu, select how you would like to view the totals. You can view totals by pay code, all, location and job, cost center, or labor category. We're going to select pay code. Verify that the hours on your time card match those associated with the Totals tab. Hours worked matches hours worked. Any vacation or sick totals on the time card match in the Totals tab. If there is a holiday, make sure your holiday's hours match accordingly. Pay attention to the total paid hours. This is how many hours you will be paid for that pay period. Once you have reviewed your time card and ensured it for accuracy, you will approve it. From the Actions toolbar, select the Approve icon. The Confirm Attestation slider box appears. Select Approve to certify that your time card is accurate. Then click Submit. Once you have approved your time card, the background color of the time card changes to a yellow background. Once your manager has approved your time card, the background will change to a purple background.
Accruals. Accruals will now accrue on the last day of the pay period. Accruals do live on the WFM side of the system, so you'll be able to see current and future available balances, and they are visible on the time card. Once you have earned your accruals, they are available to use on the last day of that pay period. You must be in paid status for at least half the pay period to earn your accruals. What is paid status? Paid status is when you have either worked and or used earned leave time for at least half of your scheduled work hours in a pay period. For example, if you're scheduled to work 80 hours in a pay period, you must use at least 40 or more hours of the below actions. These actions can either be a combination of worked hours and earned leave time, or just one of the actions. You could have worked 20 hours in the pay period while also using at least 20 hours of already accrued or earned vacation time. That would place you in paid status. Therefore, you would earn your accruals for that pay period on the last day of the pay period.
To review your accruals, from your time card, select the Accruals tab at the bottom of your time card. There are two columns to see your accruals: balance on selected day and balance with future takings subtracted. For balance on selected day, select the day on your time card to see the accrual balance of that day. Balance with future takings subtracted. Select the day on your time card to see the accrual balance with future time off requests or future time off that has been entered into your time card. To verify you received your accruals at the end of the pay period, select the day before the last day of the pay period on your time card. Look at the balance on selected day. Then, select the last day of the pay period on your time card. Look at the balance on selected day. Your accruals should have increased accordingly. To verify your time off request reduces your accrual balance, select the day before your paid leave on your time card. Look at balance on selected day. Then, select the day of your paid leave on your time card. Look at balance on selected day. Your accrual balance should have decreased accordingly.
For any future time off entries, please do not enter them into WFM if they are going to be from June 13th and forward. Please wait until we go live to enter it in WFM. If you have already entered any time off in UTM for June 13th and forward, it needs to be removed. So please go and remove it. The reason is UTM requests will not flow over to WFM. After we have confirmed and processed the payroll, we will pull the balances from UTM and manually upload them into WFM. So if you have any time off in your time card for June 13th and forward, when we pull those balances, your balances will be incorrect. We want to make sure that your balance is correct. So please make sure you remove any time off from June 13th forward out of our current system. We will be providing some Go Live support Zoom sessions. During Go Live on June 13th, 14th, and 17th, we will be available all day on a Zoom session to help support you. It'll be live support, so you can bring your questions. We'll be able to share our screen and really help you navigate through WFM. Then as the pay period concludes, on June 26th, we'll provide another Zoom session for you from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Again, it'll be a live session to where we can help you submit your time card or wrap up any time card needs that you have for that first pay period. We'll be sending out a communication regarding the sign-in instructions and provide the universal link for the Zoom sessions. Time cards need to be completed and signed off in UTM by end of day June 13th. You will lose access to UTM on the end of day of June 14th. So it's very important that you have your time card completed and fixed. You will receive access to WFM on June 13th. So on June 13th, you'll start entering your time for that pay period. We will not be loading accrual balances until June 19th in WFM. So you will have to wait to add any time off in your time card until June 19th, and you won't be able to see your accrual balances until June 19th. If we have any questions at this time, let's go ahead and take your questions. If you want to put them in the Q&A, that would be great.
So the comp time rule changed. You used to be able to accrue more than the 60 hours so long as you used the over hours before the end of the year and still have 40 hours on the books.
So the policy didn't change. What happened is our new system we're going to can actually handle policy. So what would happen in our current system is our payroll reps would have to manually manipulate the system once your bank hits 60 hours. So once your bank hits 60 hours, they would manipulate it to pay out your comp time. With our current system, it does it for us. So it knows the bank limit, and once you hit it, you start getting paid out that balance.
On June 13th, will the Octalink go directly to the WFM dashboard, or will we still need to find it in the UKG menu?
So as I showed you, you'll go to the UKG Okta and it takes you to UKG Pro like it does now. And then you'll navigate to Workforce Management out of UKG Pro. It's the same process as we do now. It's just instead of selecting time management, you'll select workforce management.
Do you always put 8 hours into the home page and then also put hours in the pay category?
So you on the home line, your pay code hours worked. If you are only using that pay code, you will enter however many hours you actually worked for that day. So some people work 10-hour shifts, some people work 8-hour shifts. For our example, I used 8 hours. If you're using any additional pay code, like a combination of worked and sick, you're only going to put how many worked hours you actually worked and then however many sick hours you need. Same thing if you need to put hours to a shift code. You will only put however many hours truly should tie to that shift code. And then in pay code 002, our home line, you'll only put however the remaining hours that need to go.
How do you enter time if you use multiple JL keys?
Yes, that is a great question. We did not provide that in the training, mostly because not all of our employees do that. Let me get into our system real quick and I can show you. We do also have a guide out there and it is on that checklist that I provided at the beginning of the session. And my login is not working. I timed out of my system, so give me 1 second. We have another question that we can answer while I'm trying to get logged in, Casey.
Yeah, why is the county changing this program?
That is a great question. We do have to change our program because our current program is sunsetting and it'll be going away at the end of this year. So we were forced to change our system.
Will our pay history transfer over? How do we access our pay stubs if needed?
So in the time card history will not transfer over, but like I mentioned on the homepage of UKG Pro, none of that is changing. You will still see all of your history to your pay statements, direct deposit information, W-2 information, and W-4 information. All of that is staying the same and we'll still have all that history over there. The only history that we will not have is the physical time card history and accrual history. So all the accrual history will be starting fresh and over. Over time, you'll get to see the history of accruals.
Okay, back to the how do you enter time if you use multiple JL keys?
Yep. So we're going to go into our time card. And if memory serves me correctly, this employee doesn't work for JL keys. So on your time card, you'll find the day that you need to add your JLGL costing. You'll hit this Add New button. On the Transfers menu, you're going to select the blue arrow. And then you're going to select Add a Labor Category. And then this is where you can add your JL key and your GL key. So to add your JL key, you just select it. And in the search box, you start typing the JL key that you need. And this test person isn't allowed to change their JL key, so I'm not going to be able to show you all the way. But that's how you would do your JL and GL. Once you have selected them, you'll select OK here on the bottom, and then you'll have to select Apply. Yep. And then what would happen is you would have a whole new line on your time card with your JL, GL coding, and then in the cell next to it is where you would enter the hours that need to go to that GL/JL costing.
Do salaried people put in comp time? I never have done that.
Salary people do not put in comp time. Salary people, your time card will auto-populate with your hours as soon as you get into your time card. That'll work the exact same. So we just showed comp time because we do have employees on this training that do have comp time, and we had a change management in that piece.
Is there a pay code for on-call shifts?
Yes, all of your pay codes are still the same. The only pay code that is changing that we don't manually add is our worked hours. It automatically always sits on our time card. But all the other pay codes remain the same. And to add those pay codes, it's that new, how to add pay codes, the add new. And then from your drop down, you select whatever pay code you have access to. So if you need to put a pay code for that, you would select it and then apply it. So for any pay code outside of hours worked, they're all still there, and you have to manually add those to your time card.
So when will we be able to see this new program?
June 13th, you will have access to WFM.
Thank you.
Have any other questions? We're getting some good questions. These are great questions. All right, well, if we don't have any more questions, I will give you some time back in your day. Thank you for attending our training. And again, utilize that checklist that we put in the chat. It's going to be your friend. It's step-by-step directions for every item that was in our training and additional items that we didn't cover. It has videos there, and it'll be your friend. We'll also email that out closer to go live. Thank you.